And welcome, car lovers. We are pulling over and hop right in with us. We enjoy riding with you, and I'm Aaron Clemens.
I'm John Ryan.
And we are both here because we want to ride with you and share some information about your car, truck, or SUV. And our goal is to give you good information that will help you make your vehicle last longer for less money and less hassle. And along with that, sharing that information, we love for you to ask questions. And to do that, just give us a call, 805-10 Eastern Time, 706-863-5800. That number again, 706-863-5800. And during the same time frame, you can ask questions and watch us live on Facebook. That's at the C&C Auto Show on Facebook. And you can also watch past shows with very little commercials and short video tips on our YouTube channel. John Ryan has the key fob in his hand. And just before he pushes his remote start, I do want to mention that if you're looking for a good professional automotive repair facility almost anywhere in our beautiful country, go to NapaAutoCare.com and you will find a shop that is right for you. I do want to mention our theme real quick that has to do with things that you love about your car. And speaking of that, John Ryan has a remote start in his hand and he is ready to push the button.
Cranked up pretty good.
I think it sounds really good. It's starting better than ever before. So with that, if you have a question about that car, truck, or SUV, you give us a call, or if you just want to share with us something that you really love about your car, truck, or SUV, you give us a call and let us know that too. We always like to start the show with a tech tip quiz, and of course the winner will receive the I Answered the Tech Tip Quiz golf shirt, and that really lets everyone know that they won. But along with that, you get a prize package with like hats and mugs and different things like that. And here is the Tech Tip Quiz question. Actually, this one is more of a riddle or a quiz. So here it is. You give me things unintentionally, and then you forget about them. Everyone hates me, and I come standard on every vehicle. What am I? So
read it one more time.
All right, one more time. Okay, hold.
Okay, never mind.
No,
forget it.
You give me things unintentionally, and then you forget about them. Everyone hates me. I come standard in every vehicle. This is a part of your vehicle talking here.
All right.
So if you know the answer to our riddle, you give us a call and you will win the C&C Auto Show prize package, including the golf shirt. Okay, now we have been talking about different things on a vehicle. One of the things that I think a lot of people really enjoy is the lane assist option.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool option.
That has been, it's certainly been something that more and more people are falling in love with really quickly, and it can keep you heading on course even if you become distracted as you're driving.
Yeah.
And it's partially autonomous steering, which is now offered on a number of cars, and it can actually, you have different methods. Of course, you have your lane departure warnings, which if you're getting over too close to the side of the road or starting to run off the road.
Yeah, it'll let you know.
Yeah, some cars, I guess Chevrolet trucks, I know they have the vibrating seat.
They do.
Because I've heard of people that just stay off the road because they want to have their back massaged, so they just
works pretty good.
Yeah, ride over there for long periods of time to have their back massaged, and then they get back on the road once they do all that. But also the steering assist is pretty neat. You just put it on the road, and you can put it on laser cruise, which is a really nice feature also, by the way. And then you just lock it in on the road, and it will actually go around the curves for you. And as long as the cameras can see the lines on the road fairly good, it'll make some pretty sharp curves for you. And of course, it'll warn you if it can no longer keep up with the demand,
right?
And or if the line goes away or it senses any kind of problem, it will let you know that.
That's right.
So great features. Are we ready to go to the calls?
Yeah. The only thing I don't really like about a lot of those features is everybody becomes dependent of them, and that just means less and less of a mindset that you're driving.
Yeah, it's not a good idea to put it on laser cruise and steering assist and get in the back seat.
Yeah.
And take a nap. That's
not
just
good.
not good, because now that is coming, but it's not here yet, so don't do it. Okay, where are we going?
All right, Aaron, let's go over to John.
Hello, John. Welcome to the C&C Auto Show.
Well, good morning. Good to talk to you again.
And good to talk to you also.
I've got a comment on what I like about my car, and then I got 2 questions for you.
We're ready.
I love my navigation. I mean, I do a lot of traveling, and I love my navigation.
Very good one there that you mentioned that time.
Aaron likes navigation too. He gets lost pretty easy.
Well, you know, what I have found is that Joker is smarter than I am. I used to, if I was going somewhere that I knew where it was, I'd say, well, I'm not going to worry about the navigation system because I know exactly where I'm going. But I got where I'll go in if it's any distance at all or somewhere I don't even in town that I don't go there very often. I'll go ahead and set it in my navigation system, and I'll be doggone if it don't find a shortcut somewhere that I hadn't been using.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you. I love the navigation system. Now, actually, I use my phone more than I do the vehicles,
right?
Because I've just gotten so used to my phone. Now, I will tell you what I do with my phone is always keep a headset.
Yeah.
And I have the little LG headset. Whenever I go somewhere, I just punch it in and it says take a left and take a right and go wherever you're going, and it lets me know when I arrive. So I use that more than I do the car navigation, but I love navigation systems.
Well, let me just say this about the navigation. It's wonderful, and I use it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I always carry a map with me because you can look at the map and you can see if you're driving by some point of interest or something you wanted to see or something you didn't know that you wanted to see.
Uh-huh.
So it's good to carry a map with you, too, because what the navigation does is take you from point A to point B, and it doesn't tell you what's around you.
Mm-hmm. John, I'm going to mention navigation system real quick, what I went through many years ago. I was actually flying a good bit at the time. I was flying airplanes, and I would have to get the map out, and I would have to plan my course, and you'd have to plan for how much the wind was blowing, how much it was going to blow you off course if you were to keep a certain heading. And then if you were going visual flight rules, VFR, you would have to, as you get over somewhere, you would have to actually look at the shape of a lake to see where you were.
Yeah.
And it was so enlightening. I remember when they finally got enough satellites up to start using GPS for flying, and I was able to have, it was kind of a portable unit that I had. It was such a neat thing to be able to push a button and it'll say go this way and that way, and you went.
Yeah.
And then, of course, with cars, it just exploded in doing that. And I always would have thought that the regular GPS just would have been there forever.
Yeah.
The kind that you would put on your windshield, but now so many cars come with it, and so many people use their phone till not that many people use the ones that stick on the windshield anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's a great system. I love it.
Well, I love mine, and I would never have another car without it. I mean, It's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But here's my first question. I went to get a part for it, and I went to the dealer, and it was just, way, way high.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a well-known parts place,
mm-hmm.
and it was just a couple of dollars below the dealer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to 3 or 4 of the parts stores, and I came up. It was about the dealer wanted right at $75. I finally wound up getting it for $19.
Wow!
And I was told, I had a friend in one of the parts stores said that they actually paid $25 for that particular part.
Mm-hmm.
So the markup is, tremendous.
Yeah.
Why such a big difference in price
mm-hmm.
for, basically the same part?
Well, you will find things like that do happen to where someone will have a part and they will buy a large quantity and be able to sell them at a lower price. And, of course, more than likely you found something online. But also that don't happen with all parts. I mean, it just depends on the part and the place that you get it and how many times it passes through hands. John, we are just about to run out of time, or we are running out of time. We're going to have to take a real quick break, and we appreciate the call very much. All right, thank you.
We would like to thank Kendrick Paint and Body for being a loyal supporter of the C&C Auto Show. Now, back to Aaron and JR.
She's real fine, my 409. She's real fine, my 409, my 409. Well, I save my pennies and I save my dimes.
And we are back with you on the C&C Auto Show. And John had called previously.
He did, yeah.
Before we went on the break, he asked a great question and got me all excited about the GPS units, talking about those, because I love that.
Yeah.
And then he mentioned another question about parts, but he had one more question, and we were supposed to go on hold, and the phone dropped off. So
That's right.
he asked John to give us a call back in his question about something to do with oil, I believe. Okay, we are ready to go to the next caller. And Michael, welcome to the C&C Auto Show.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Very well, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. First-time caller. I'm in the market to purchase a new diesel truck, and this is the first time I've ever had to research a diesel. Could you tell me a little bit about the DEF additive in the new diesels?
You're going to do to John what John Ryan, what John, the previous caller, did to me on GPS. He loves the diesels.
Well, I can't say I love DEF, Aaron. I can't say I like
Yeah,
that.
but that's part of the game now.
It is. You're exactly right. Michael, no doubt, all the diesels require DEF right now. And basically that's a chemical that goes in and can actually clean the particulate filter of the diesel. It is required on, of course, all the vehicles that come out with emissions. So it is something that you will have to add. Normally they last pretty long. It has a calculation of depending on how long you idle, how long you drive it, the driving habits you have. Really, the systems, when they first came out, they had a lot of, well, I won't say a lot of issues, but they did have some issues. But if you're looking at buying a brand new diesel, really those issues have been resolved. They've come a long way. Matter of fact, quite some time ago, everybody was deleting all the emissions equipment off of it. Now, people are actually leaving it on, and you can still do all the cool things like, put chips on it and tuners and all that kind of stuff, because they found out that it really wasn't a bad system now that they've got the bugs worked out of it. So no doubt your vehicle would require the DEF fluid. There's a few precautions. You always want to make sure that fluid is clean. It actually does have a shelf life. It has to be stored in certain temperatures so that it does not go bad. Using a good quality DEF fluid is very important. And then the main thing about the diesel is just keeping all your maintenance top notch and buying diesel fuel from diesel, gas stations that turn over a lot of diesel.
And I was going to say, that's one of the things I was going to mention. The DEF is the same way. You don't want to buy old DEF fluid, that's been, especially if it's been stored in very hot or very cold conditions.
Yeah, if there's dust on the box, chances are you don't want it. So, but yes, diesels have come a long way. I think the DEF is it's a minor headache to deal with, but I mean, all of them have it. So once you get used to it, most of the trucks have a DEF, like a level gauge. It tells you how much is in there. So really, it's come a long way, and I think it's a okay system to have on a truck now.
Mm-hmm. Another thing to be real careful is if it's like a work vehicle, they have a mark very, very clearly.
Yeah.
But you want to make absolutely sure that any new drivers that you get, this is for companies with a fleet of vehicles especially, know exactly where the DEF goes and exactly where the fuel goes, because it's real important to make sure that those don't get intertwined.
Yeah, that's a good tip, because when they first came out, a lot of the DEF tanks were, say, under the hood.
Yes.
So, a person would buy a new diesel truck and add DEF to the fuel, and from there, it just destroyed the entire fuel system, all the fuel lines, the high-pressure pump, the injectors, and everything. So that's a good tip.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much, Sean. Have a good day.
Thank you, Michael. Number to call, 706-863-5800. And we did get John back.
All right. He's online.
Hello, John. We missed your question about oil, and sorry about that.
Yeah, I thought you didn't like me anymore.
No, we were supposed to go on hold, and I was supposed to tell you that, and the time clock went boosh.
The truth is, Aaron's blind.
I know it. Hey, my question about oil.
Uh-huh.
I just gave my dog a treat, and she's yelling at it now.
All right.
I've got my Durango. It's going to be 3 years old this month.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got 83,000 miles on it. I've been talking to a couple of people, and they highly recommended synthetic oil. But the thing is, oil, I can do it, just using rough figures, I can do a regular oil change for $20 and change it at every 3,000 miles. Or I can do a $40 synthetic change and change it to 6,000 miles, which comes out the same. And to my way of thinking, using regular oil, I've got clean, fresh, new oil in there, twice as long as I would have with the synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on synthetic and making them last longer?
I definitely agree with the scenario you're given. My thing with synthetic is it depends on what you're using the vehicle for. I think you would benefit from synthetic if it was running 6,000 RPMs around a oval.
Or if it called for it. I mean, and some vehicles do call for full synthetic.
Right. But, the other thing is, say if you drove it on the highway all the time and you didn't want to necessarily pull over every 3,000 miles to have an oil change, synthetic may be a good option. I'm a big fan of earlier oil change intervals just simply because I like to inspect it a lot sooner than, say, 6,000 miles. For instance, like a diesel, I still like a 5,000 mile interval just simply because, your brakes can go from good to bad in 5,000 miles. So you may miss that if you went the 10,000. So I still like doing the regular, the 3,000 mile interval on a vehicle that does not require synthetic. Now, if it requires synthetic, I would say go the extra.
Yeah, without question.
And just
Yeah,
have
do
an
that.
inspection in between.
It does not, yeah.
But John, even with yours, with you using semi-synthetic, your car's only about 3 or 4 years old. So with that, you could, without question, even using good semi-synthetic oil or a blend, you can go 5,000 miles without any issue. You'd be fine to do that, and that's sort of like a compromise between two. I'm not a big fan, but when you're using on a standard vehicle, and I'm talking about an average type vehicle that does not call for full synthetic, I'm not a big fan of the 7, 8, 9, 10,000 miles, even with the full synthetic. I feel like 5,000 is absolutely fine for those vehicles without a problem. So you could kind of compromise between the two and be fine.
That's what I thought. Okay, well, thanks a lot now.
Thank you, John. We do appreciate the call.
And the only thing I was going to mention with that would be the weight of the oil. It doesn't matter if synthetic or semi-synthetic or whatever you put in there. The most important thing is the weight of it, especially on that truck, because, of course, some of the Chryslers actually have an algorithm that will tell the computer if the right weight of oil is in there.
It is. And also, along with that, you want to make sure that some cars call for a special rating.
That's right.
API rating, so make sure it's rated correctly. Okay, it is time to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll talk more about things that you love about your car, and we'll be looking for your question. Give us a call.
The C&C Auto Show would like to thank Phoenix Printing for being a proud sponsor.
Welcome back to the C&C Auto Show, and we are looking for your automotive questions, 706-863-5800, Saturday mornings, 8:05 to 10. And we are also talking about things that people love about their cars. And one of the things that I feel like has saved a lot of relationships.
What's that?
That would be the dual zone automatic climate control.
I thought you were going to say multiple cars.
No, it's actually, it's almost like multiple cars because you can have the AC on one side and a little bit of heat on the other side.
That's
or
true.
Much warmer on the other side. So that's been a very good system, and a lot of people use it. And, of course, a lot of that's been able to be improved upon because of using the electronic motors as actuators now.
I was going to say technicians do not like those systems, though. I tell you that.
Yeah, and that gives us a chance to mention those. The little where used to be vacuum-operated little vacuum motors, they were called. Now they're electronically controlled motors.
Yeah.
And these motors will depend on where the air goes. And so that makes it possible to have one air control door letting more air go past the heater core on one side and more air go past the evaporator core on the other side.
Yep.
And giving a lot cooler air on one side than the other, keeping both people.
And then to really, I guess, make it more complex than that, of course, rear has that option also.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And in the rear, you can do so many things with that. So they're able to do a lot of great things. Of course, one of the issues that a lot of people have with it is sometimes these doors either get out of calibration or the little electric motor goes bad, and that's most commonly known as a clicking noise inside your dash. It'll go click, click, click.
Yeah.
And we'll mention that in some cases, it's not a real major job to replace that.
Right.
In other cases, they seem to have taken that little unit
Throwing
and
it
then
in there.
built the car all around it. It's
Sure.
and many times it's right in the center of the dash where you have to take the entire dash out to be able to replace those.
Right.
So
Just a quick tip too. Of course, if there's more than one back there and one's failed, I recommend replacing the rest of them.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be a major thing. Okay, so again, question about your car, truck, or SUV, 706-863-5800. We were going to mention one other thing also about that the car makers are doing, and this is hydrophobic windshields. Car makers are actually featuring these windows, and it's like a coated type glass. And what's really neat about it is it stops things like the rain and the dirt and all of these other things that normally stick to your glass as you're going down the road.
Yeah.
Well, this type glass repels that just like as if you had a lot of Rain-X all over your vehicle.
I'm just going to throw this out. I think Rain-X is probably cheaper.
Well, it would be, this would come with the car. So you're
paying
talking
for
about
it,
an extra few dollars a month.
No.
is what you'd pay. So, but it's like having permanent Rain-X.
That's cool.
Yeah, on the windows. It is kind of neat. You ready to go to the calls?
Yeah, and let's go over to Dave.
I think that'll work. Hello, Dave, and welcome to the C&C Auto Show.
Hey, how you doing?
Very well. Appreciate the call, and what can we help with?
Well, I just got a question. I just got a car. It's been in the family, and it's a 2006 Trailblazer,
Uh-huh.
and it's got 193,000 miles on it, and it's got a vibration that's like you can feel it in the pedal and you can feel it in the steering wheel, and it's slight, but it just seems like it shouldn't be there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I had one auto shop look at it, and they suggested getting, what do you call it, the pads that they're...
The engine mounts?
Yeah, engine mounts, but they couldn't, guarantee that would work. And,
what year, make, and model did you say this was again?
It's a 06 Trailblazer.
2006
Okay.
Trailblazer.
And you're feeling this vibration that you're feeling, are you feeling it like sitting still, or are you feeling it going down the road?
Both, but it comes and goes, like, especially when I first started up, you feel it in the steering wheel.
Okay. Initially
and
starting, you feel it.
Yeah.
Yes, and then driving along, you do. Now, if you let up on the gas,
It goes away.
it almost goes away, or sometimes it does completely go away.
I'll give you something
And,
fun to do, Dave. Everything you're describing, just knowing those vehicles, we just about keep those mounts in stock. They fail so bad. One of the kind of a fun test you can do to confirm it is when it's idling, when it feels like it's vibrating at idle, shift it to reverse and see if the vibration goes away. That it doesn't
Really?
it doesn't necessarily change the engine rotation, but it actually changes the way the engine is loaded. For instance, in drive, it's loaded real hard on the right because, of course, that's the movement of the transmission. It's trying to propel it down the road. Well, when you put it in reverse, it actually goes the opposite way, and it can lift that pressure off of the mount that's probably weak and actually transfer it to the other side, and may actually take care of that.
And you can power brake it just a teeny bit as you're doing that.
Yeah, and see if it just kind of comes off.
Okay.
But I will tell you, and this may be giving off a secret, we had one of those that had been to quite a few shops, and actually every shop put mounts on it, and it did not take care of it. So that test will tell you for sure if it needs a mount. But I will tell you that we actually had one that had a cracked fan clutch on the front of it. The actual plastic blade of the fan clutch was cracked,
Really?
and it was causing a vibration, and unfortunately it had been to 2 or 3 honestly we probably would have suspected the mounts too, but having it been the 2 or 3 shops everybody put mounts on it, we knew it would be something different, and luckily we caught it. What we did, of course, that fan clutch, you're able to stop it when the vehicle you can hold it shut or still and crank the vehicle up, and sure enough it was smooth as glass. So try that test as far as putting it in reverse and see if that corrects it, or at least gives you an idea that it's the mounts. And if that doesn't do it, it may be a good idea to look extra close at that fan clutch.
Hey, one other quick question. I looked this up, and I saw that where a lot of people had put the mounts on and nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
And, where they had
They all
the
needed
Trailblazer.
fan clutches.
Yeah, possibly so. Well, one guy said that the computer that they told him the computer had like 25, what do you call them, backups or whatever that they did, and that fixed it.
Oh,
Does that make
as
any
far as
sense?
updates, like to update the software, it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's quite a few vehicles out there that, when they came out brand new, they had some idling different characteristics, some that,
Oh, really?
people didn't like, so they were addressed through software updates, which, I mean, that is a possibility. And of course, low idle can
Okay.
cause similar things. But if just knowing those vehicles, I would just about bet money. I'd bet Aaron's money on it that the
You always bet my money.
that the mounts are bad.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot.
Well, we appreciate
have
it,
a
Dave.
good
Hope
one.
that helps.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, the number to call is 706-863-5800. I want to mention, Tech Tip Quiz. Oh, we do need to do that again, don't we? That will be the
Tech tip.
okay. We do have the Tech Tip Quiz, and this is a riddle. We mentioned that earlier, that it's more of a riddle than a Tech Tip Quiz, and the riddle is: you give me things unintentionally, and then you forget about them. Everyone hates me. I come standard in every vehicle. What am I? So if someone knows the answer to that, they'll win the C&C Auto Show Tech Tip Quiz prize package, and that includes the shirt that goes with it. Are we ready to go to the calls?
Yeah, Aaron, I'm ready. Let's go over to Rob.
Hey, Rob, welcome to the C&C Auto Show.
Gentlemen, good morning.
We are where? Good morning, Rob.
Yeah, this is Rob Forbes, actually.
Yes.
You guys know me. Question.
We won't hold that against you, though.
Yeah. Well, at least not on the air. 2002 Subaru.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly smells like oil is burning, but it's not.
As far as when you say it's not, Rob, do you not see any oil leaks or what?
Well, it's been doing this for months. I can't find any oil leaks. There's no the oil is the oil level is staying constant.
Right.
So
Rob, I've always wanted to say this joke, but that's normal in that model. No. Those, of course, that's a pancake engine. It goes side to side, and what happens a lot of times when the valve covers leak, they leak right onto the manifold. So you never see any oil on the ground. You never see anything like that. And you're right, you do smell it. It can be, one drop would give you the smell, but you wouldn't see that on the dipstick. So I'd be real,
not enough for it to ever get low,
Right,
so you wouldn't ever
exactly.
see it that way. And of course, if you don't see it on the ground,
But seriously, all joking aside, it seems like every one of those do that. They're notorious for valve cover leaks, and unfortunately, some of the ones with higher mileage, the oil can actually leak out of the head gasket. Normally, you hear a head gasket, you think of coolant, but oil can actually leak out of those too. So I would be or suspect the valve covers to be leaking. And this is probably the time where you say, we just had those done.
No, actually, I don't say that. It's got 146,000 miles on it.
wow, that's been a good one.
I have had it.
Still is a good
I have
one.
had it looked at. I've
Right.
had it looked at, but no one has said, the valve covers might be leaking.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
what
what
it
we
sounds
suspect. Sure is.
Thank you, Rob. We appreciate the call, and we will be right back just after this.
Looking for another vehicle? Consider Philip Hawkins Motor Company, a proud sponsor of the C&C Auto Show.
The seat and stretch my feet out to the pedals, smiling like a hero that just received his medal. It was just an old hand-me-down Ford with 3-speed on the column and a dent in the door.
And we are back with you on the C&C Auto Show, and we will go straight to Bob. Bob might have an answer to our Tech Tip Quiz.
Yes. How are you fellows this morning?
We are doing very well. We need to put you up on the stage before you answer, though.
All right. Put me up there. I'll scream.
Okay, here we go. Bob, all eyes are on you, and we are looking for the answer to our Tech Tip Quiz. You think I should read it one more time?
Yeah,
Governor?
you may as well.
All right, it's more of a riddle. You give me things unintentionally, and then you forget about them. Everyone hates me. I come standard in every vehicle. What am I? And, of course, the show's about things you love about the car. This is something most people don't like about their car. And what is it, Bob?
Well, I had an idea, and then when you read it again, I thought, I don't think so. But I said seatbelt. A
seatbelt. No, but I'm going to tell you, you were then probably an inch or two of the answer. Ooh. You are within an inch of the answer. I mean, it's right there at it. That's a hint.
Okay.
Big hint. You want to try one more time?
Oh, let's.
All right, here we go, Bob. You gonna work with me a little bit?
I'll try to.
All right, here we go. What is near the seatbelt area, and and most people don't like it very much because you give it things unintentionally. And I'm gonna give you an example of it. I gave it a $150 flashlight one time. Finally got it back 2 years later because I found it. But it's something there that you unintentionally give it things. And most people don't like it because sometimes when you give it things, it's hard to get it back.
The rail, the seats on.
Now, what's right above the rail that the seat's on?
Oh,
or right at that area?
I'm sitting on it, I know.
All right. Bob, we'll go one more shot now. We got another call there that's coming in. I think they're going to get it. So we're going
give them a countdown.
Where's the thing at? We
don't have that.
Oh, yeah, we do. It is there. Okay. But all right. 3. Come on, Bob. 2. Oh, Bob. This is really rough.
I'm going to feel bad when the other guy gets it.
Yeah,
Go
you
ahead.
will.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, the
right.
number to call, 706-863-5800. And John Ryan, where we're going?
We're going over to Joseph.
Perfect. Hello, Joseph. Welcome to the C&C Auto Show.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for taking my call, and I'm sorry if you can't hear me that clear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got you. We can hear you pretty good.
Okay. I believe you're talking about the...
Hold on.
I'm sorry. Getting ahead of myself.
Okay, now we're ready. All right, go for it, Joseph.
I believe you're talking about the crack in between the seats.
Oh, Joseph. That was... Oh, wow. The crowd is going absolutely wild. They can't hardly stand it.
Wow. Great job. Wow.
It's amazing. It really is. This is life-changing for you,
I just want to thank everybody out there. I want to thank my sponsors.
Go back all the way back to your first grade teacher.
That's right.
And all that. Okay.
I want to thank my mom for preparing me for this question. She knew this was going to happen.
You are absolutely right, though. It's the gap down the side of the seats where everything falls in.
People were trying to think of a specific part of the car as opposed to space in the car.
And that is a true story, though. The flashlight, as a matter of fact, I will say that most automotive technicians, they normally carry real good lights because that's an important part of the job. And the flashlights that I have, and most technicians have also, is a stream light. It's a flashlight that is very small. It's like 6 inches, 8 inches long, something like that, about as big around as a quarter. It costs about $150. And mine I lost mine. I couldn't find it. I had it marked. I had my name all over it. And I knew that it had fallen somewhere where somebody couldn't see it. Well, about 2 years later, someone else come walking in with my flashlight. And they said the car was here. We were working on it again 2 years later. And my flashlight was in that little spot on the seat where it had fell out right there. So I don't like those things either.
Me neither.
And I'll mention this real quick right before we go to the next call, is that I seen on TV there's a thing you can buy that goes in that spot.
Yeah, I saw
that
that
covered
too.
it. Okay. Joseph, you'll hold on the line. They'll get all your information, and they'll also, I would recommend hiding for a few days, and then you can come out and claim your prize.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Joseph. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good day.
You do the same. Okay, number to call, 706-863-5800. And John Ryan, where will we be going?
And I think we got enough time for one more caller. Let's go to Steve.
Yeah, we do. Hey, Steve.
Morning.
Hello there, and welcome to the show.
I got a couple things. One, I wanted to say that if Hank Parker and his fishing show ever needs a voiceover guy, you're the man. Ever heard that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, the other thing was, I just had a question about transmission wear and usage and stuff like that. I have a habit of when I'm at a stoplight or something. I have another question after this, just a quick one.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're at a stoplight, and it's a long stoplight or in your traffic or anything, is it more or less harmful to leave your car and drive, or to slip it into neutral or park, or either one, or does it make any difference at all?
Oh, great question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Of course, the torque converter is designed to basically allow it to slip, so it's kind of doing that for you. The torque converter doesn't couple until a little bit higher RPM, so it really and truthfully should, of course, they're designed to do it that way. So, no doubt neutral may be easier on the transmission, but I don't know that it would make it any last longer or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. And then I will say that on most later model cars, if you're going to be sitting there over 3 or 4 minutes, I would go ahead and just cut the car completely off and then just restart it, because you do save gas that way. Of course, if it's just going to be a minute or so, just normal stuff. And, of course, like John Ryan mentioned on that, also a lot of the modern cars do that for you now, too. They cut themselves off, and then, of course, they go again as you give it the gas.
Okay. So my second question is, I have a 2012 Toyota Tundra with the V8 in it, and if it's below 80 degrees, I turn this thing on and it revs up to probably 900 RPM, something like that, to warm up, and it seems like it takes forever. I'm wondering if that's part of by design, or might there be something wrong? I mean, it probably takes 5 minutes for it to go down to normal idle, which I guess is probably 700 RPMs or something like that.
Yeah, Steve, that actually is in the programming of the car's computer. Toyota's done that for many, many years. I can think back of the old Toyota Camrys, like 96, 97 models. They did that in an effort to, of course, make it warmer, faster, make it heat up quicker. And a lot of times they do that for two reasons. One, for you to have heat, and two, for it to be very efficient. They want the vehicle to reach operating temperature as fast as possible. So that's kind of their strategy of how they're doing that. They do rev it up just a little bit, like you mentioned. If it was in park, it may idle at 1,300 RPM for a period of time, and then start slowly but surely coming down. So that has been Toyota's strategy to warm them up.
And it should warm up pretty quick, though. Just make sure that you see your temperature gauge move up to normal within about 5 minutes, 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and also make sure that it goes all the way up to operating temperature, which is about 190, somewhere around in that range, 200, something like that, because that could be signs of a thermostat. But other than that, it's probably doing normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Just something that always seems like forever when you're trying to get to work.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Appreciate the call, Steve.
Steve, thank you very much for the call. Oh, wow. We are about out of time. The time clock's on E. We need to pull over for now. We'll be back on the road in no time. I'm Ray Clements with co-host John Ryan Mooney, and our show producers are Sherry Moxley, Zach Llewellyn, Bert Dean, Bo Roberts, Alan Dean, and Sandy Klein. And each and every one of us would like to say thank you very much for tuning in to the C&C Auto Show, and we will see you on the next ride.